And hello again. It is me, Anime Wheat or Wheat Anime. Um, like usual in these what ifs or usual in my videos, I give out a disclaimer. If this was your first video, and check out my other ones. I got one more series, and upload schedule is Monday and Friday. Yeah, I upload every Monday and Friday. Mondays are my Nanami what ifs. Or what if Deku was Nanami, which is his story. And Friday is what if Deku had the eight gates, right? Okay. And disclaimer, like usual, I stutter my words. I am sorry, and if you hear any noise background, there's still construction, or well, there's pipeliners. If you don't know what that is, pipe. I. No, okay. Let's skip over that part. Yeah, I stutter my words. Y'all know this if you come around my channel often. And hey, go follow my Instagram. Okay, it's down in subscription, or just look up Wheat Anime or Anime Wheat. I don't post on Anime Wheat anymore. Um, I lost the password to be honest with you. So I decided to make Wheat Anime, which is just me. I don't post on there a lot. I don't post on social media a lot, anyways. But yeah, that's all I need to say. Before we get into the story, really, like and subscribe, please, please, please. Yeah, and here's another thing. The Valentine's Day, there will be a special I will do. Whatever day Valentine's Day is, really. I'll probably do it on like Wednesday, honestly. Uh, I'll have to check what day Valentine's Day is on after this, just to know. Uh. when I can post the special. Which the special, I will be doing specials for all of the holidays, like Easter, all that jazz. Okay, so got a new series, right? It will be on whatever day I might do. Uh, it won't be like a one shot like story in one video. It will be like on a couple of videos, but yeah, okay. I don't know. It depends when I finish the one of these series, right? Which will probably be the first one to begin and the first one will be finished. Okay, so yeah. Okay, let's get into the story. Sorry for my rambling. Okay, I'm sorry. But where we left off, was when I believe where we left off, is when we were with Medora and well, Class 1A. On a bus. They were driving to a bus to the USJ, I believe. Um, so yeah, they were driving to the bus. I mean, not driving to the bus. They were driving to the USJ, and we will go onto the bus with them. Okay, to start this off. And we could hear, well, the students are talking about who has the strongest quirk, which they are mostly talking about Bakugo and Todoroki. Okay, which is Bakugo's quirk, if you're new to MHA, is explosion. He sweats nitroglycerin, which you all probably know this. But yeah, and Todoroki has half hot, half cold, which he is just hot, if you gotta say anything. See, and here's the thing, I'm bi. Okay, don't don't go messing around. Okay. Um. Okay. So yeah, they were talking about the strongest quirk until Kaminari speaks up and he says he thinks, well, I also, okay, I'm gonna go out of the story for a minute, okay? I also do impressions or try to do impressions. I want to get good at impressions of anime characters or just characters in general. Okay, so don't. I'm new to impressions. I want to try it. Okay, so we go back in the story. I impression warning. This is a thing I do. And Comedy says, "Yo, I think Midoriya has the strongest quirk," and everyone looks at Kaminari like like they're all like questioning him, and and then Kaminari looks at over at Midoriya, which he is has his hands or his head in his hands like rubbing his head because of Kaminari. Like you ever have like that issue with your like either parents where they like you do something you think you're awesome, but yet they think you're an absolute idiot for doing that. Like and they rub their head like you know what I mean. I hope you do. But yeah, he is rubbing his head like and through his hair, like he's just has his head in his hands, like, and he says, and Midoriya says, "Well, I don't know what you mean by the strongest quirk because we all have strong quirks in their own rights, like out of like out of like brute output of." Like power output, it's definitely either Todoroki or Bakugo. But in like a stealth situation, uh, Shoji's and Juro's quirk is the strongest. In hand-to-hand combat, there is Ojiro, Sato, Kirishima, me. Like we all have our preferences in like fighting. So I don't want to be part of this conversation of strongest pork, Kaminari, and everyone else. But then we hear Bakugo he says, I'm not gonna do an impression for this because I don't like doing his voice. It's all I don't like it. But I'll do it anyways because it's entertaining for both of us. And uh Bakugo says, Shut it, Deku. Just tell them how your quirk works. Because maybe they forgot. I don't know. I can tell you one thing. It certainly hurts. And uh and Bakugo would scoff like or ugh, like a like that type of deal. And Midoriya would make a deep sigh like this. I don't. I'm not good with speaking. I realize, but yet, yeah, Midoriya would make a deep sigh like, fine, and he would say, yeah, fine. I'll tell him about it. And he would go on a ramble about how his quirk works and his suit, his hero suit, which is what you see in the picture right now. And I want to point, I don't know if I did anything last time, but yet the goggles helps him see. Well, I'll tell you how the quirk works if this is your first video of mine, which you should just go back to part one, or go to my other what if. But yet Medora would say how his quirk works, which it is called ratio. His quirk is called ratio, and how it works is he can see a ratio line on a target. Like, say he was going against Bakugo, or well, he sees ratio lines on about everything, and I mean about everything. He can see them everywhere. He can see it on the bus. He can see it on people, the seats, everything, the buildings. He sees ratio lines on everything, but they're like translucent, but like they're still like so they're clear lines, but yet he can see them enough to where he can mark out the weakness point, which this is how which it's the whole entire translucent thing is my idea on how the quirk would work. But ratio is Nanami's curse technique. If you are not into Jujutsu Kaisen or anything about that anime, or haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen or read the manga of Jujutsu Kaisen, that's how his curse technique works. Um, crap, I forgot to there we go. Sorry about that. That notification shouldn't pop up anymore. Okay. Yeah, what did I say? Well, yeah, that's Nanami's curse technique, right? It's called ratio. That's what I'm basing it off of his quirk off of, right? But yet, uh, he wait, hold on. Let me restart that because after when I the thing, um, but yeah, how he explains how his quirk works, and the name of it is called ratio, and he can see ratio lines everywhere, as I said previously. I'm just trying to refresh my mind on what it is. And then, but without his goggles he has on, which is part of his hero costume, they are translucent like lines. Like he can only see an outline and the weakness point, which Nanami's curse technique. Go read up on it. I'm not the best at explaining stuff, okay? But I'm gonna do my best for this, okay? And with he explains it on how it works, and he also explains his hero costume, which is what you see. And he explains almost everything, but before he get to his tie, uh, Mina would say, "What about the tie?" And uh, Nanami would say, or I mix up the names. Sorry. Midoriya would say, he would say, "I was about to get to that," and Mina would say, "Sorry, continue." And uh, and he would say, uh, "My tie is a quirk dehancer. It's like the quirk uh cuffs that heroes and police uses. I dehance my quirk, and yeah, it's a dehancing thing, or my tie has a dehancing like metal in it." And he would also explain the weapon he has on his back, which is under his coat. Uh, yeah, it's the weapon looks like a cleaver, but is wrapped like a blunt cleaver. Like if you know what I'm talking about if you watch Jujutsu Kaisen. It's not an his weapon. Um, but yeah. And and he well before well then he would get done explaining his quirk. And then you could hear Aizawa say, "We're here." Oh yeah, impression warning. You should know those by now. But yeah, Aizawa would say, "We're here." Problem children. And then he would continue to step out the bus and watch his class flood out of the bus one by one. So yeah, they all flood out of the bus. They get out, right? And uh, yeah, they would all get out the bus. and Aizawa would explain what the USJ is because he didn't explain it when he first said they were going to the USJ, and Kaminari thought, Universal Studios Japan? And that's what he says in the anime, I believe. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while. I've been waiting for season 7. But yeah. Um yeah. So now we step in, well, Aizawa opened up the doors and everyone steps in. Right. The doors open, everyone goes in. And then they get greeted by 13, the hero 13. And 13 does her speech and all, right? It She does her speech and blah blah blah. Yeah, she does her speech and then Kaminari would say, uh, "Whoa, whoa, you all got fake villains too? That's so cool!" And he would point over to well, to the portal opening up, and you could see, we could see, all the room could see really heroes, I mean not heroes, villains flooding through the portal. And then yeah, villains coming through the portal. And then Aizawa would say, those are not fake villains. I'm really tired of this. And he would also say, 13, protect the kids. I don't get paid enough for this. And then Aizawa would go into action, fighting all these guys. He would punch one guy so hard in the stomach that he sneezes out his butt. Yeah. And then he goes through just beating everyone up, racing their quirks and all, and then boom. And then we see uh, the villain that opened up the portal, which is Kurogiri, as we know him, but yet, sorry, but yet the class and Aizawa and 13 don't know. And then 13 and uh, Kurogiri would get into their fight. And but after that, Kurogiri would try to open up a portal under all of them. But before he could do that, Midoriya hits the portal before it could fully engulf everybody. So Midoriya would be standing around in the middle right now. So yeah, he would hit the portal at the weakness point in his quirk, which here's another aspect of his quirk that he can do. He can, like, if you watched previous episode part thing, you would remember he cut Bakugo's explosion right in half from hitting Kaminari and Kirishima in the Heroes versus Villains. He cut Bakugo's explosion right down the middle. Well, not really cut it. He dispersed it. So with his quirk and his weapon, it works like Aizawa's quirk. Yeah, as it erases the the thing it touches. And with the combination of Midoriya's quirk called ratio, he can see the weakness point and then boom, he hits it and it goes bye bye. And then after he disperses it, everyone looks at him in shocked motion, even Kurogiri and 13. But while Kurogiri is distracted, Bakugo and Kirishima lay waste to Kurogiri, but and hits the metal collar, right? But before they could actually catch him, he teleports away back to the other villain, the villain with blue, like cyanish hair and a lot of hands on him. And which 13 would be hurt also by this time. And well, the villain we know as Shigaraki would be yelling at uh Kurogiri to go try again. But yet Kurogiri would tell uh Shigaraki about Midoriya and how or one of the class the children one of the children in that group could dispel the quirk. But yet Shigaraki does not care at all. But he keeps that information in his head. So while that's happening, we go back down to Aizawa, which he is still beating the crap out of him, but yet more villains are swarming him. And some are coming out of the water, some are coming out of the building. See, they're at the plaza currently. Like some villains from every rescue spot are coming down. Only some of them, like three or four from each. Like not a lot are coming through. Like so, and then we go to Shigaraki before all these villains that showed up against Aizawa after he took down so many. Shigaraki would say, impression. Like, he does not say this, but you know, Kurogiri, ugh, send in more villains. Take some out from the other spots. I don't care at this point. We need more time. We need him to be here. And yeah, we know who he's talking about. He's talking about All Might for him getting here. He needs him to be here. And like, and Aizawa heard this. Sorry. And so did the students. He yelled it that loud. And then more we do jump into time, like back or where Aizawa is still beating the crap out of his villains, right? And Kurogiri at the moment is, well, we go back to the classmates, like class 1A. And this time, Kurogiri actually gets some teleported all around. The ones being Kaminari, Mineta, Suyu, Momojuro, Ojiro, Shoji, and Todoroki are teleported away to their respective areas. Um, they're not, they're all going to be together in one, like not all of them, but yet some of them will be together that weren't together. Like, Soji will be with Suyu and Mineta. Sorry, Shigaraki's voice does that to me. It kind of lets his face crusty. Yeah, but yet, yeah. Um, they get teleported all around in their respective areas, right? And now we get back to the few that did survive the teleporting, like before Midoriya could dispel it again, dismantle. Wait, no, I can't remember that. I don't remember. Never mind. But yet, yeah, before Midoriya could uh dispel the quirk. Well, he didn't spell it this time, really. He turned around because he could hear his classmates like yelling, "Oh no!" Like all of them that got teleported. Okay, once almost like half of them got teleported around, Okay. So yeah. With that though, we get to Midoriya. Okay, and he's looking around at his classmates that didn't get teleported. Which I said, who got to look? Tsuyu, Mineta, um, Ojiro, Shoji. Um, you know what? Sato did too. Did get teleported too. Uh, and then Jiro, Momo, Todoroki, and Kaminari that got teleported. So the ones that are left are Mina, Bakugo, uh, Kirishima, him, Toru, Higakure, the Invisible Girl. Which it's those five, and Ida. No, Ida ran. Okay, Ida got out of there. Tried to tell the teachers. I forgot to point it out. So yeah, those five are there, and we go to Shigaraki, and he uh looks at Kirigiri and says, "Impression." I hope you can hear that. I said impression warning if you can't. I'm sorry. Um, but yet Shigaraki says, Kirigiri, send in the Nomu. This is gonna be fun. Uh, but yeah, he says that, uh, and Korogiri says, yes, young master. And he teleports the Nomu into play. And Shigaraki tells the Nomu to go kill Eraserhead now. And he would start maniacally laughing like a normal villain. You know, be maniacally laughing. Yeah, that's the word. But yet, yeah, he would laugh after that, and then the Nomu would go speeding at Aizawa, and then we go to Aizawa while the purple big thing, thing is going towards Aizawa, and now we go to Aizawa. He's still fighting these villains, but yet they're clearly going down still. Like there are very few like, and so he sees something running at him in the corner of his eye, but yet he thinks nothing of it at the moment. And then before it happens, he punches one guy in the gut again, and he absolutely poops himself. Yeah, Aizawa punches him so hard he just dumps in his pants, and now he is down on the ground. Okay, and then he punches this other guy while erasing his quirk, punches this other guy up in the jaw like an uppercut, and then grabs the guy's head, slams it down his knee, pushes him away into another guy, and then runs at this other guy, the other villain that he pushed this one villain into, and the villain pushes the guy that he caught at Aizawa, but Aizawa jumps over this guy, uses his scarf to tie around this guy's legs, and then Aizawa does a front flip, lands, and throws this guy's the guy he tied his scarf around by his feet at the other guy, and then before he could get knocked down, he lets go of the guy and with his scarf and ties around the guy he's throwing the guy at, and he the villain gets hit with the other villain. Okay, and he knocks down, but before Aizawa could pull the guy he has it tied around, he gets punched in the side and goes absolutely flying to the wall at the back of the plaza. hits the wall, and makes a crater. Right, and he looks up at the big purple thing, and he could see it running at him. He thinks he thinks in his head, and he says in his head, "What the what the hell was that thing? Ugh, what? I'm gonna swear if I live this, I'm telling Aizawa, not Aizawa, that's me. I got hit in the head hard, hit in the side hard. Uh, I'm telling Nezu to raise my pay. God." And so he sees the big thing, the Nomu, run at him. And the Nomu throws a punch and misses Aizawa, which he ducks, rolls, and takes out his knife and tries to stab the knife into the Nomu's shoulders. And he does do it, but then the Nomu grabs Aizawa's feet, and which Aizawa still has the hold of the knife. So he grabs him with so he pulls out the knife and he throws it at the Nomu's ankle. Right. And it sticks into his ankle, like just above like the two balls, not two balls, not your like you know what I mean. Like the above your foot, like your Achilles ankle. But like the two like knots on the side of your ankle. Like you know what I mean? He hits right above those, and then if you ever watched Avengers, uh the maybe the first one, I don't remember. But you've probably seen it around where the Hulk grabs Loki and just goes back and forth against the ground in the Avengers Tower. Back and forth like that. And he does that for like twice. And then he reels up his arms and he see and then then we could hear Shigaraki say, "Hey Nomu, kill the kids." And so the Nomu throws Aizawa straight at like the students that are up, like at up the stairs. And so Midoriya sees this, Aizawa flying, and he yells, and Aizawa, not Aizawa, Midoriya yells, "Hiroshima, Hiroshima, catch Sensei." And so Hiroshima would harden up and jump up enough where he could catch Aizawa, and but yet with that type of force, uh, Hiroshima would also fly into the wall with Aizawa, and so now they're both laying there like they're both hurt, but like Hiroshima has softened the land sort of, but yet now Hiroshima is stuck in the wall because he doesn't turn off his quirk. And if you ever seen the movie Two Heroes, My Hero Academia movie Two Heroes, you could see this happen. So go on Crunchyroll or whatever Funimation. I don't think Funimation has movies, or do they? I don't know. I haven't had Funimation in a while. I've been on Crunchyroll. But yet, yeah. And you fly, and they fly, and Aizawa would like fall down to the ground, and yeah, he falls to the ground, unconscious, but yet like fading out into unconsciousness. Sorry, excuse me. But yet, yeah. And Kirishima gets stuck in the wall, like he tries to get out, and who uh who was still there? Mina and Toru would run up to him, try to pull him out, but they can't. So they yell at Bakugo. Like, but yeah, he's fighting villains, which he shouldn't be, but yet he does. He's Bakugo. But yet, yeah, Bakugo is yelling, like fighting villains, like small great. And And we go to Midoriya. He sees the Nomu. He he starts booking it towards it. Like he think if Midoriya starts booking it to to the Nomu. So the Nomu's running at him, more like walking, like he's jogging, like type deal. He's jogging towards the students. So Midoriya gets there and with his like his dull cleaver weapon, he hits a point where Aizawa it he hits the arm where Aizawa stabbed the knife in, like the shoulder. He hits it at the weak point, which how a ratio in his quirk works. Okay, so he hits it. The arm flies off, like fully off. No shenanigans where it's barely hanging on. And so the Nomu would screech like like this, and the Nomu would punch or try to punch uh like he would try to punch Midoriya, but more Midoriya would dodge and then hit the Nomu hard enough in the weakness spot where he launches, or not really launches, but yet he knocks down the Nomu and it starts to roll really. And the Nomu lands right next to his arm, so he grabs his arm with his hand and just starts beating his like the shoulder into his arm, like just repeatedly beat it into like to attach, and then it like regenerates. Like the arm would connect with his arm, and he has two arms again. And so Midoriya would look at it again, at the thing again, and hold on, I'm trying to find something, make sure it's there. And so he takes off his tie and does this, and we can see the aura of his quirk in the like an aura around him, like you see here. But yet, the only thing this gains is like more the durability. Like to his whole entire body. His body turns into like a rock, really. Like the skin hardens, or like how Kirishima hardens. And Bakugo would look at Midoriya like he's insane for even trying this, because they've tried. Midoriya would try this before, like before he would have to tie and everything. Midoriya would try to would well, let's have a flashback to a couple months earlier during the 10-month training period before the entrance exam. Hold on, I'll go back to the picture. Okay, there we go. And we can see Denki, Bakugo, and would be training at Dagama Beach all together. And Midoriya would say to the other two, he would say, I want to try something." And they both would look at him, and Midoriya would explain he found out a part of his quirk that if he gets into a serious situation, which this happened with the slime villain attack, like because it got out once more, and and it caught a stranger, like a girl or boy. Yeah, he caught someone, and Midoriya would be walking past trying to see what happened, and then he sees the slime villain, and he books it out there like he did in game. But this time there would be a aura around him, and he jumps up and like and hits the weak spot in the slime villain again. and he pulls out the girl or person. Nobody's that's going to be relevant in the story. Okay, and throws the person. Uh, like no, they'll be in the story. They'll be a member of Class 1B. Like, and this girl would look like would have gray hair or silver hair really, and yeah, silver hair, like blank facial features. It's uh, what was her name? Rico Yagi Ya Tana Tanagi Tanagi Tanagi. I believe that's her name. I believe the ghost girl, Portuguese with the Portuguese pork. I hope you know what I mean. Sorry. But yeah, that will be her. And so he throws her out of the way. Well, yeah, that's in the flashback. But yet we go back to the original flashback of like a couple months uh before the entrance game, before that happened. Not before the slum villain, but like after slum villain. Okay. And so he's telling him about the experience and the fact that it it hurts to use it, really. It hurts to use it, but yet his skin gets harder and uh like denser, harder, more durability to it, and extra strength, really, speed enhancing, really, which it only happens in intense situations like this. So yeah, and he will not speed, durability, really, or just extra strength and durability. Okay, like his skin's hardened like a barely. But yet, no, not more durability, more speed, really. So yeah, he would take it all his tie off, and we'll cut back to the present. And so he sees the Nomu with his two arms back, and he can see the Nomu running at him again. And so he takes off the tie, and the aura would come back, and he feels like not immense pain, like not pain at all. I changed my mind. No pain at all. He gets more like calm and emotionless, really, in this state. Okay. And so he sees the Nomu coming. He pulls his weapon up, and no, he looks at his hand. He pulls up his sleeve to see a clock. No, not sleeve. He reaches in his pocket, but like while the Nomu is trying to get his arm to reattach, and he looks at the time. It's a minute over 12 o'clock. So it's noon at the moment. And he says, ugh, and then would say, I really hate going overtime. This will end now. And he would stick the watch or the, what's that called? The pocket watch back in his pocket. And he would grab his, like, cleaver-like weapon in his hand. I can't find a, a good, a good, um, clip of this. So you would have to imagine with me. He sees the Noma running back at him again, and he starts running at it again, faster this time. And if you watch the anime, you would know this scene or seen it over uh, time. He would see it, and he would like jump and slice and hit the weakness point and start sliding behind it. And he would push up his goggles or glasses. I think that's what you would call it, glasses. He would push up his glasses and have his like weapon behind him, like that. You can't see me. Yeah, I just. Hmm. But yet, yeah, you if you know uh, the clip of it, I need to find that clip. The clip of him like sliding against the curse and like its head falling off. You know what I mean? Where he's really cool and starts to slide behind it and pushes up his glasses and like his weapon is behind him. Like yeah, that clip. So yeah, that happens. And with this, his you can see a massive scar or like a big gash on the Nomu's body, and his arm that he just reattached falls off again, and the ankle with the knife in it would fall off too. So the Nomu has one left leg and a right arm. So with the leg, he would reach down and instantly put it back in and it would regenerate straight away. And for the arm, he does the same thing where he just like keeps on trying. And so so Midoriya would turn around and look at this creature, just trying to reattach his arm, and he would look at it, and he would see the arm reattach itself, like bam, it's happened again. And so the Nomu would turn around. Once by this point, he is like shocked that it didn't go down. So the Nomu like rushes at Midoriya and punches Midoriya right in the square of the chest. And like people are seeing this, like the students that are still like up at the plaza, like the stairs, sees their classmate just get outright just turned into a like into the concrete wall, like about like 6 foot into the wall, into like a human shape into the wall. And so the Noma would look in there and see blood scattered all around the like inside of it, right? And so he would turn his head, turn his attention to the other students. And then you could hear, well, the doors fly open. The teachers, the teachers are go through, and you could hear somebody say, I am here. And you could also hear Shigaraki say, Nomu, kill All Might, now. All right. Like he would say, kill All Might, Nomu. We will take him down. That Nomu was built to kill All Might. And I'm really surprised that kid stood a chance against him. And so the Nomu and All Might would trade punches over and over again like an anime and blah blah blah. They would fight. And the Nomu would get launched out of the building. Sorry about the plane or helicopter thing. Sorry. But yeah. And boom, the Nomu would go flying out of there, blah blah blah. Everyone gets saved. And when Kaminari, which they saw, Kaminari would see Midori get put into the wall. Okay, I hope you can hear me. I really hope you can hear me. But yeah, Midoriya would, Kaminari and Bakugo would see uh, Midoriya get punched in the wall by the Nomu, right? And Danky, like after the Nomu would get launched out, Kaminari would bolt over to the hole, and so would Bakugo and the other students that saw it. And by this time, they got Kirishima out of the wall. And Aizawa would get put in the hospital like that on a stretcher, and like everyone else would get retrieved back and put into the bus. But yeah, before like they're trying to like look in there and try to pull out Midoriya, but they can't see the aura at all. So they try to get in there, like after the fight, after this, they would both run over to the hole and look in there, and they could see like a glint of the glasses of Nanami or Midoriya, not Nanami. I'm sorry. Again, they glint, and they could hear like a groan, like, "Oh, okay, never doing that again." And what he means is like before the Nomu punched him, he put his weapon right in front of him where he would get punched, and so the weapon and the punch hit him, but yet it would lessen like impact, so he wouldn't really have any broken bones, like barely any. But yet you can see him like walk out, like holding his chest and seeing he puts the weapon back in the holster on his back because the weapon is perfectly fine somehow. Don't it's a quirk canceling metal, right? So it would be able to withstand a quirk punch. So yeah, that's how it survived. It's not like, oh my gosh, is it made out of vibranium or something? No, it's not. It's made out of quirk canceling metal. So once the Nomu touched the metal or blade, it canceled the strength work. But yet, with so much force from previously, boom, straight to the wall, blah blah blah. And he would be walking out as like the students would gather around. He walks them out. He walks out like he's uh like his clothes are tore from it. Like there's like his left sleeve and right sleeve are about just dangling off of the like suit of the suit, and his like right leg is tore up. The pant leg like above the knee down is gone. His shoe is completely gone. There's no tracks of it, and his left leg is just pants. Like uh his shoe up to like above his knee is gone, but his shoe is still there. So yeah, he gets out like and he groans like and he says, "I am never doing that again." Oh, okay. Oh, and he would get a hug from Kaminari, which he's more open about having like he hugs him because he's happy that he's alive. And Bakugo would put his hand on his shoulder and blah blah blah. They would get back to the UA and they would all get time skip for 2 weeks. They would all and during that time skip they would rest, get treated, blah blah blah. And we go to the class in their like the school, their classroom. They would all be there, and the 2 weeks are already up for their and all the break. And Aizawa would walk in and say, or actually no, um, President Mike would say because Aizawa would jam down. Uh, President Mike would come in and say, "Hello, Class 1A. I'm here to announce to you that we are having the sports festival. Now let me hear you cheer." And nobody cheered because they don't know what the sports festival is. And like Ito would raise his hand up and ask, "What is the sports festival? You got to explain that to us." And President Mike would look like he would look like He would be rubbing his chin like, oh yeah, like and he would have the face like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. And he would say, well, the sports festival is a festival where you play a lot for points and blah blah blah. But yet, yeah, correct. Um, yeah. So he would tell them how the sports festival would go and how it works, and he tells them they have a week to train for it, and plus they would have to do school still. So yeah, another 1 week time skip to the beginning of the sports festival, which I won't get through it all. I'll probably do the race, and then the cavalry battle, and then next time I will do the fights, one-on-one fights. Okay, so they would be in their changing room, the 1A room. They would all be talking to each other, and Kaminari would be right beside uh like nobody's sitting around Midoriya really, but they're near him. Like they're all like around him really, like in their seats or like their uniforms, sport uniforms, training uniforms. Yeah, no, that's the word. Yep. But yet they would all, well, the ones who saw the aura would say all almost did, besides like Todoroki, which Todoroki would be listening. Uh, but yet they would all ask what that aura was, and Midoriya would say what the aura was, which we explained that earlier. So you would know. So, but yet he would explain it. Um, he would say how it he would say it only activates when I take off the tie, which he's wearing. Surprisingly enough, he got allowed to wear his tie. Like so he's not wearing the over like the tan coat of the suit or the pants. So he's wearing the UA training uniform pants and coat, but yeah, under that coat is a blue tank top and his tie, right? Or like his shirt, like his shirt and a tie. Okay. So he would still be wearing it and his goggles because that's him now. Um, yeah, he would explain it and how it works, what it does, blah blah blah. He would explain it everything about it to his classmates. And then President Light would come in, okay, 1A, it's your turn. Or no, no, not President Mike because he would be in the booth, the commentary booth. Who would say it? All Might. Sure, I don't remember who said it in the canon of the story, but yet All Might would come through in his buff form and say, "It's your all's turn." Well, he would say, "Hey, 1A. Hey, 1A." Yeah, that sounds better, right? I think so. I don't know. But yeah, he would say, it's your turn to come out. And so they would all walk through the entrance hall, uh, in no specific order. But yeah, they could hear over speakers, and President Mike saying, and this is Class 1A! And they would all enter through, and you could hear cheering, and you could hear Endeavor yelling, Shoto! He would be yelling Shoto, and Todoroki would be flipping off Endeavor, and you like everyone's sweating around him. Like everyone's physically sweating because his core got even like higher because he was angry. But yet, yeah. So we they get there, and Midnight would say, "Would the would Mr. Midoriya come up the stage?" Would no, not Midori. He probably wouldn't even try to go up front, like be up top. Midnight would say, would Koski Bakugo, or no, it would be the class representative, uh, Koski Bakugo, which he would still try to be the answer to the top. Uh, Midoriya wouldn't really care about being at the top at the moment. He would have no reason to be the top, until later, which I have an idea. Um, yeah, we would go to them. Baku would say what he says in canon. Like, I am okay. Impression one. He would say, "I'm gonna win and beat all of you extras," and he would walk off. Boom. And yeah, we would start with the well, Midnight would show the strain of wheel and spin the wheel and blah blah blah. It lands on sports race, right? And then she would spin again, and it would end up on cavalry battle, right? So with this race, I'll probably just do the race, and then next time I'll do the two battles. Okay, the uh the cavalry and the one-on-ones. I'll do that next time, next week on Monday. And uh with that, we would start off with the race. Everyone will be in the hall, and uh it would and you could hear President they could hear President Mike over the microphone, and he would be saying, "All right, and when I say three, you go, okay? One, three, go!" And so everyone would be out of there. But yet, of course, um, Todoroki freezes at the bottom. And so him and Baku would take the lead immediately. But then, with a single swipe at the ice under his feet, Midoriya would be out of there. And like almost all of the ice would be out. Like almost all of it would be out of the bottom, out from their feet. So they would be running. But yet Midoriya would be up there up front because he's a unit. And plus he's just bolting it at this point. He's running as fast as he can. Yeah. He makes it to what was the first thing? Well, they would be running. Obstacles would be in the way. And then so this is how the like Midoriya would be in second currently because Bakugo and Todoroki would be uh at a tie at the moment. So yeah, they would be at a tie. So they're both technically one, like at number one in the race. And boom, Midoriya would be in second. He could see the two at the moment in front of him, and then he could see robots. Uh, and Bakugo would go over the robots, and yeah, he would go over them. Todoroki would destroy one out of his way and then leave the rest to the others. But yet, with this, Midoriya, seeing that there is no, Todoroki would take out two in his way, and Midoriya would jump up and with one swipe or like one punch into the weakness spot, that the other robot crumbles and down on the ground it goes. But yet he's still in air, so he's technically just going and he lands, rolls, and starts running again. And you could hear as this race was going on, you could hear and Aizawa's up there too. So there would be a commentary team, really. And you could hear Mike President Mike saying, "Whoa, you got some good students. You got some good students, Aizawa." Or he would say, "Eraserhead, you got some good students you got there." And Aizawa would say, "Yeah, they're all problems." Like he doesn't say that to the mic, but yet he says the whole part they are all problems in his head. So Aizawa would say, "Yeah, they're all pretty strong, especially Bakugo and Todoroki and their crazy output of their quirks. But yet, if you had to talk to me to see who the strongest is, I would say Midoriya. With his quirk, he's basically unstoppable if he can get one hit in. No matter how hardened your body is, how fast you are, he can always hit. No, 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 forget that. But yet, he would say, in my personal opinion, Midoriya. See, no, hold on. He would say, in my personal opinion, I have a lot of students that are crazy strong. But yet, with the output of their quirks, Todoroki and Todoroki and Bakugo would be the two strongest uh, in quirk, their quirk areas with the output of their quirks. The explosions from Bakugo, the ice from Todoroki could overwhelm villains in an instant, or their opponents in an instant. But yet, that's talking about quirks. Let's talk about full on brute strength and uh brute like in their quirk. If in my personal opinion, the one that will in my personal opinion and who is the strongest in both categories is Midoriya. With his quirk, if he can get one hit on you, you're down for a while. See, in the recent USJ attack, he took on the Nomu, and which I didn't see it because I was down from the Nomu that took down me. See, apparently Midoriya took it down, cut off. Well, we still don't know what the Nomu was, but yet it could regrow limbs or reattach limbs that it has lost. And apparently Midoriya uh, took an arm and the leg off in an instant and leave that thing in a bloody mess in the chest. See, with his hero costume, he has a weapon, which it's a doll weapon. I'm not going to tell you anything else about that. A doll weapon made a giant gash on that creature. So yeah, in my personal opinion, which they're all strong in their own rights, as Midoriya would say. He Everyone is strong in their personal preference area, like in stealth, yeah. But yet, an all-around fighter is Midoriya, even though he can't go long range like Todoroki and Bakugo. He can go close to mid range, close range, and as I said earlier, one hit and you're down. Whoa! And President Mike would say, "Whoa, I haven't seen you give that type of praise in a long time. And I mean in a long time." Who was the last person you gave that type of praise to? I think Sir Night Eye. I think that's who you last time you gave that type of praise to. Dude, why couldn't you give that type of praise to me? And and I would look at President Mike, with a blank stare and President Mike would look at Aizawa in a like a happy smiling type of facial expression. But yet that happens. Yeah, they would talk about that. Aizawa would say in his how strong his class is, and then Aizawa. I mean, Midoriya would eventually catch up to Bakugo and Todoroki. And so they're all neck and neck for first place, which I know what you're going to say. How is Midoriya this fast even though he doesn't have an enhancing quirk? Boy, he's trained and trained and trained. The one thing he has, he may not be the strongest person, but yet he is one of the fastest people. He may be outclassed in speed by Ida, Bakugo, and Todoroki, but yet that doesn't mean he's slow. He is fast. Okay? He turns into a blur sometimes. Like with if he's like holding in strength and boom. Like how he did with the Nomu. But yet he would be like a little bit behind not Midoriya, Todoroki and Bakugo. But then they get to the mine section of the race, right? And so he stops right in front of the mines and sees that there is a mine already exploded by Bakugo. And so he picks up like the metal sheet of the thing and he puts it on his like a sled and he would jump, throw down the like the sheet of metal he found of the other mine. He would throw it down, put his feet on it, and just go launching across the mine thing, and he would actually take up first place for a little bit. And so he keeps on flying, but yet he doesn't really care about winning. But yet he wants to get there first so he can get it over with. Okay? So he just keeps on going. And then he he goes about like a third of the way of the pit. So he lands on one of the platforms and jumps. And he doesn't cross the finish line because he's waiting. Because he thinks like with the Cloudberry battle, like something's gonna be sketchy about that. Like they said something about points with it. They said something about if you get first, you're basically screwed. So he would wait. He would be at the finish line at that point. So, but yet he would stand out of the way, out of the way. So people would be start getting up to like the pit, and so and Bakugo and Todoroki would go straight through at the same time, really. So, but you could see Bakugo just barely beating um Todoroki, like barely, barely at all. So Bakugo would be get first place, Todoroki second, and then Ida would get third, and so on and so forth. But yeah, around like the middle mark, or like I'm gonna say like 20, no, I'm gonna say like 15th, he would walk through, like casually walk through it because he doesn't care. And like everyone in the stadium would look at him like, why did it take that long to step in there? And like Todoroki and Bakugo would look at him as the same. Like, why didn't you step in there at third or anything like that? So, and he could see everyone look at him, and he just like shrugs, like I don't care, like in that type of deal. He shrugs at them all, and everyone gets like a sweat drop. Like everyone in the stadium would have like a sweat drop and would be so confused. But yet, yeah, everyone get through that gets through. Okay. And then boom, we are ending it here, right now. This is where I'm ending this part of it. And yeah, that was part two of what if Deku had what was Nanami's reincarnation. But before I end the video and before you all just click off of this, please stay there here. I want so that I know some people actually watch full thing. I thank you for that. I want you to comment your favorite animal. Animal, um, favorite animal and quirk, not quirk. Your favorite animal and your favorite color. Okay, this will be used somehow in the future. It depends if anyone actually does this. See, I already have plans for other what ifs. See, like that. Okay, I have plans for other what ifs I want to do. I have a whole entire list of them, dog. Okay, I have a list, and if you want to, leave a what if I did under there in the comments. Blah blah blah. Like, subscribe, comment. Uh, share if you want to. I don't know what sharing does really. But yeah, thank you for watching this what if and listening to my terrible voice and my terrible impressions. But yeah, thank you. Have a great day. Bye.